Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in tonight. Sorry we're a little bit late. We're trying to get on other towns' Facebook pages, so thanks for tuning in. My name is Tracy Welch and welcome to episode 10 of the LGBTQ Voice. So tonight we'll be talking about youth empowerment in our communities and making changes and youth speaking up and empowering other youths to kind of come forward in our communities. So tonight I have a co-host, Eileen Dugas, with me, and she's the network coordinator. So I just want to let you guys know if you want to place any ads or commercial space on our page, or excuse me, on our show, hit up leo@newbedfordguide.com, because as of right now we are 50-50 partners with New Bedford Guide. So any ad monies that we have coming in actually goes full percent, 50% goes back to the network. That helps our community organizations that we have going. We have New Bedford Pride. We actually have Sober Now as part of the network. We have tutoring that we do, and we also have the 8 to 13 group that we now do at the youth center. So to keep these programs going, we need funding. So please, if you'd like to support us in our endeavors, hit up leo@newbedfordguide.com. So Eileen is going to talk about some things going on in our community, LGBTQ news. Eileen?
Hi. Hi everyone. So tonight I want to talk about Mac Bags. So for those of you who don't know who Mac Bags is an 18-year-old who is a high school student in Texas. He is a transgender wrestler. He identifies as male. He is being made to wrestle in the female 110-pound group. He's asked to wrestle with the males. They won't let him. The University Interscholastic League says that athletes have to participate in sports as the gender identified on their birth certificate. So
he's female to male.
Yes, he was born female, identifies as male, has begun taking some low-dose testosterone. He has not transitioned physically to a male, but feels that he is dominating the female wrestlers and has requested to fight with his male peers. They will not allow it. So for 2 years in a row, he has won the Texas girls class 110-pound division. So I'm wondering how people feel about that, if they feel that Mac should be wrestling females, if he should be wrestling in the males, and does the University of Interscholastic League get to make that decision? Should they make that decision? I don't know.
So one of the things we're doing for tonight's show is we have guests on tonight's show, but we decided to start with the questions. So you guys can write in your comments or your concerns, questions, whatever you have, and we'll be reading them and be able to answer you, so we'll have a little bit more time on that. So this person is female to male.
Yes.
And wrestles female.
Yes.
Because right now, she's not a he in their book.
Because the birth certificate, Mac Bags' birth certificate says female. And the rule says, this is exactly what it says, that the gender will be determined based on a student's birth certificate for the purpose of all University Interscholastic League participation in competition.
So everything says female.
Yes.
But he says I'm a male.
Yes. So he is getting a lot of pushback and I guess negative.
And he could hurt somebody. Possibly.
Maybe. Could he?
Well, we need, because Eileen and I are going to have a banter tonight, guys. And
Yeah.
it's a good banter because we kind of have different opinions. If he identifies as a male, then I feel that because we talk about identities, that he should be able to wrestle with a man.
Right.
However,
so I'm not saying I disagree with that. I'm saying who has the right to make that decision, and how should that decision be made, and what would happen if Mac wrestled with the males and was injured? Who owns responsibility for that? Is it just a wrestling injury, or is someone going to say that's because you let a female on a birth certificate wrestle males?
So, or should his transition go through, then he changes his birth certificate, then he has a right male to male?
According to their regulations, yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like people to comment, ask your questions, give your opinion, your thoughts on this. I also wanted to mention someone from the past, another athlete, Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox is a MMA fighter. She is male to female, so born male, identifies as female, and has transitioned to female. She was fighting MMA, the female class, did not disclose that she was transgender, dominated the field, and when she came out, I believe it was in 2014, she didn't get any more fights. She's getting a lot of negative comments from men, MMA fighters, saying they want to beat him, they want to fight him for free, calling Fallon a male in many statements, and saying just because she had her sex altered that she is still a male, and they feel that she should fight males.
So I know Eileen and I talked off camera beforehand, but I think, from my own personal opinion, and it's just mine, that she should have said, I was a male before. Mm-hmm. I think, being a female, you think you're fighting another female, and you're gearing yourself for that female to female. So like when we were younger and you wrestled your little brother, there was a difference of wrestling your little brother than wrestling your little sister. So mentally, being prepared, I don't think I'd be prepared to know I was wrestling a man when I was actually being prepared to wrestle a woman. So for me, if I was a female wrestler before she said that after the fact, I would have probably been pissed off.
Right. I think that a lot of people feel that the first mistake was not disclosing, right. And then we have to consider, do we expect individuals who have had gender reassignment surgery to disclose that to the public? I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I don't know. I don't really have a strong opinion about that either way. I think that does it impact their ability in the sport? Maybe. Maybe it could. So again, if we talk about Fallon Fox specifically, if she fights females and she injures them, and is that considered that? Should it be considered that she shouldn't have been allowed to fight females in the beginning? But then if you look at MMA responsibility, if they allow Fallon Fox to fight males, are they again responsible for any injuries that she gets because she identifies as female and has had gender reassignment surgery? I'm not sure that I have an opinion on this either way. I'm undecided. Well,
one of the things I kind of find odd is that with all the drug testing that they do, mm-hmm. that never came up in anything. Because you figured there has to be some sort of testosterone level or something somewhere, hormone level, whatever the person's taking, mm-hmm. would have shown up. So it concerns me as well that how much testing or what's going on to kind of figure that out.
And that could be, Tracy, that could be how they found out. I'm not really sure the facts on that. I just know that it has been, Fallon Fox hasn't had a fight since 2014, and the only offers I see her getting are public and derogatory, and people making negative comments about her as a person, which, is really not nice. So,
if you guys would like to come on our show, you can reach us at, we're going to joke again, traci@sclgbtqnetwork.org or Eileen at sclgbtqnetwork.org. It would be great to have any of these players or athletes on our show. So if you have any ins, contact us.
So there's one more interesting thing that's coming up on March 10th in regards to this. So Anne Variato is a transgender woman, born male, and identifies as female. She is fighting she was the MMA fighter. She is fighting a male, and I'm not going to say his name correctly, Railson Payaxo, on March 10th. So Anne states that she feels that she should not fight females, she should fight males, and that she's too good of a fighter to fight females. So on March 10th, there's going to be a fight between a transgender woman and a male. It's Mr. Cage 34. So it will be interesting to see what publicity that fight gets, the outcome of that fight, and how people feel about that. So please feel free, write your comments, questions. We'd love to talk more about this and see what the community thinks about it. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Right.
So you were going to do the ad next.
I am?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leah.
So if you are interested in sponsoring us, having an ad, a commercial, please contact Leo at newbedfordguy.com. He can assist you. Like Tracy said earlier, 50% of the profits will go to the South Coast LGBTQ Network, and we'll use it to fund activities for the LGBTQ community. It could be youth summer camps, it could be outings with the seniors, it could be get-togethers. So if you can, please reach out to Leo at newbedfordguide.com to sponsor us.
Thank you. So we're going to introduce you to two young folks in our community that are doing a lot. So right now we have Selena Deschaines, who is the founding person of Life Fundamentals, FUN in capital letters. And we have Tyler, I forgot your last name, I did forget.
Pont.
Thank you, Tyler. Tyler was on episode 1, if you guys remember, and Tyler was from Project Yes. So Selena, tell us a little bit about Life Fundamentals.
So Life Fundamentals, excuse me, Life Fundamentals is a youth-run organization ages 11 to 25, and we come together to use our time positively and productively. At the moment, we are perfect timing for my voice to crack. At the moment, we're all volunteer program, but we're hoping to move in the next few months to being able to pay our youth to do the programs that we have in the community. And we're teamed up with Third Eye, possibly one of their programs, instead of being our own organization.
Cool. Tyler?
So Project Yes is a youth organization as well. We work with children and young adults from ages 13 to 24. And I like to refer to it mostly as a proactive program in the community, as opposed to reacting to, I won't say bad choices, but worse than other choices. We like to educate the youth and young adults on what happens if these bad choices are made, as opposed to saying don't do it, because we know they're going to do it anyway. So we are educational mostly. We do a lot of fun activities as well, but we do like to address education on the opioid crisis affecting youth and how HIV is affecting the youth as well in the community.
Great. You have some questions for the youth and young adults?
Yes, I do. So, what made you decide to do this work?
So I had decided to have Life Fundamentals because I was a youth that felt helpless and hopeless. I've been in foster care, I've been in different programs, I've been on the streets, I've got myself in many, many messes, and I've been involved in other groups and organizations, but I feel like there's a fine line between progression and oppression because we are youth and our voices matter, so that's how I think matter.
Do you feel that youth can relate to you better because you feel like you've been in some situations?
So I absolutely think they relate to me better, but then now that I'm making the transition to be more professional and I'm working with the older population, no more the youth as much, I'm trying to transition the bridge with all of us into the next step. But at the same time, they're like, oh, she's become bougie or anything like that, and I just have to keep on pushing so that they know that I came from the same place and there's steps. I recorded all the steps that I took to get here, and it's easy to follow.
Nice.
Tyler?
I was a volunteer for the Taunton Opioid Task Force, and I had done a lot of volunteer work with the BOLD Coalition in Fall River, building our lives drug-free. And one of my best friends works at the coalition, and she had introduced me to Project Yes. And when I found out there was an organization that was giving back directly to youth in Fall River and New Bedford and all of the surrounding areas, I was like, okay, sign me up. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to give back to the community that gave to me.
So what are you guys expecting youth and young adults to gain from your programs?
So for Life Fundamentals, we follow the fundamentals, we live it, teach it, and fall back on it often. To be positive, take responsibility, be a good leader, don't let fear stop you and never stop learning, and understand that it's okay if you fail. What matters if you get back up and try again, because we all want to live a positive life with positive work ethics, positive relationships, and everything along those lines. So just transforming our lives.
Tyler?
For Project Yes, I think the biggest thing I would like everybody that comes to our program to take from it is knowing that there are, I don't want to say scary, but absolutely scary things in the community, specifically surrounding the opioid crisis and HIV, especially in the young LGBT community, which especially in school education seems to be forgotten about. Specifically, like if you talk about, can I mention sex ed?
Yes, you can.
So especially in sex ed, in high school sex ed, it's heterosexual sex ed. We don't talk about homosexuals, we don't talk about lesbians, we don't talk about that. So I feel like giving the LGBT community a sense of education helps them go back to their own home and their own friend groups and spread this knowledge that they're not receiving. So I definitely think the big takeaway is learning about how to better navigate their community and give them the steps that they're not getting anywhere else.
So just to let our audience know, Eileen and I are also 2 out of the 4 adult advisors for NBAGLY, which is our Alliance of Gay and Lesbian Youth, and we actually do go to schools and talk about sex ed and God help me, abuse, alcohol, whatever topics happen to be that we review at our NBAGLY. We actually went to Nativity Prep, and Eileen and Kevin, who is one of our peer leaders, is going to Taunton High this month.
Yep.
So what grade is it? It's Taunton High or junior high?
It's high school.
High school.
It's the GSA.
Yeah,
so we'll meet with the GSA group.
Yeah, so at any point in time, if you want us to go to your local GSA, please, again, I email Eileen or myself, Tracy with an I, TRACI at sclgbtqnetwork.org, or Eileen at sclgbtqnetwork.org.
All right, so Tyler, what age groups are you working with?
We work predominantly, our clientele is 13 to 24, but we're open to working with other organizations that service anybody. Anybody that could benefit from the education we offer is welcome to speak with us, sit down with us, meet with us, but our direct focus is 13 to 24.
Can you tell us about the gift certificates in that small part of your program?
Like incentives and things like that?
Yeah.
So what we do is we are data and survey driven. So every one of our clients takes 3 surveys throughout the entirety of the program, so a baseline and exit, and then we track you down 3 to 6 months later for a follow-up. And with every one of those surveys, we give you a $20 gift card for participating as a thank you for taking part in this.
So it could be $60.
Exactly. If you wanted to wait until the end, we offer Amazon, Chipotle.
Yep.
So if you really like burrito bowls and you want $60 worth of burrito bowls,
Hey.
email me at tpont@sevenhills.com. That's TPONTE at sevenhills.org.com.
Well, you might as well tell yours. Go ahead. How do we get a hold of you?
Oh, so you can find us on Facebook at Life Fundamentals, or you can email us at New Bedford nblifefundamentals@gmail.com.
Cool.
And what age group do you work with?
So we work with 11 to 25, but basically whoever's at the parks and the kids that come. But that's our main focus as it's transitioning ages from being a child to being a young adult and adult. So we focus on that.
So what has the community feedback been like for you guys?
Oh, sounds fun. You want to go first?
Sure. Community feedback, especially since we just recently worked with Diamond Regional, which is the high school I went to.
In what town?
Fall River.
Thank you.
But Diamond serves the greater Fall River area, so Fall River, Westport, Somerset, and Swansea. And we actually went back, and a lot of our clients were kids I went to high school with, so I had that extra connection with them. And even after going through the program, they all came up to me and said, this was awesome. It was so much fun. We loved learning. You guys made it fun. Because especially talking about things like the opioid crisis, or even we do an educational group on setting goals and coping with skills, and that can get really boring and really kind of like
almost school-like.
Almost school-like. As we set a long-term goal, set a short-term goal. It's like almost like an icebreaker in a college classroom. So we definitely try to keep it fun. That's kind of my favorite part, is kind of just getting everybody out of that school setting, and everybody recognizes that. Everybody recognizes that we're there to make this a fun educational experience, and make sure everybody is getting education, but also a good laugh out of everything. Okay.
So the feedback that I've gotten and our group has gotten is mixed. because we are youth, that some of us may smell like weed because they smoke or have records or have been labeled. It's with the peers, it could be seen as like a sellout to a certain extent, a little. Like now, like that's not who you are, but it's like, no, this is who we are. We want to be good people. We're just following with what is the negative tides in our community, as well as going into the organizations that are well established. We are youth. We don't have as much educational background, but we have the passion. So it's everything's positive and negative in every drawback, and it's up to us to break the barriers so that we can be in the community making the changes for ourselves, our family, and everyone around.
Cool.
So what challenges do you find when you're working with this age group?
I come up across a few challenges. One of our main focus and our idea is I'll ask the kids, hey, what does dope mean? And they'll go like this, and then I'll be like, what else does it mean? And it takes them a second. They don't really want to say it, but they'll say drugs. And that's one of the things. Or even like, yo, you're crazy. I respond, what's crazy in a crazy world? So like a lot of the words that we use for ourselves are negative, self-sabotaging, or even towards positive things like saying gay. Gay means happy, but it's used as a derogatory term. So it's kind of changing the way we perceive the world around us and not just following with the dual terms and using them, like really focusing on what we mean.
Right.
That's one of the main problems.
For us, I've definitely noticed that it's a challenge tailoring all of our materials to different age groups, because obviously you talk about sex with a 24-year-old completely different than you talk about sex with a 13-year-old. You talk about all of our topics differently with different age groups, and then you take in different demographics that have been through different scenarios in life. We've had certain clients that come in and their biggest worry is when they're eating dinner or where they're sleeping that night. And it's hard, especially being a professionally established white boy. So a lot of the times they don't want to hear it from us. There's nothing we can teach them. They have that.
Can't relate.
Exactly. We can't relate to the struggles of being on the street. And I will absolutely not say I can relate to what's going on and what their life is being. But that's definitely it's the almost brick wall of communication that a lot of these kids are putting up.
Well, one of the things for our Perfect Place Community Center is, because we've done ages 14 to 24 for so long, we can help the 8 to 13-year-olds. So we actually got extra funding. So again, like you said, we can't talk about sex that you would for the 14 to 24-year-old that you would with an 8 to 13-year-old. So we're very fortunate that this Wednesday, tomorrow will be our third week.
Tomorrow will be our third week.
Tomorrow will be our third week. So again, 484 Pleasant Street, New Bedford, Mass. 8 to 13-year-old, you with your parents. Don't drop your kids off and run. It's a support group. You want to talk about it real quick?
Yeah, so basically the group is for LGBTQ youth 8 to 13 with their parents, like Tracy said.
Don't drop it.
And really what I'm focusing on is self-esteem, self-identity, and really just talking about the good things about kids, the good things about individuals, their strengths, and a little bit about the challenges that they bring up. So it's really about just creating social connections and a sense of self. So it's not a group where we're going to come in and I'm going to present a topic to 8 to 13-year-olds that they don't really want to listen to. That will happen, but it happens through natural conversation and natural things that come up while we're playing a game of Uno, or we're creating a collage with words that describe us. So.
And what time is that?
6:30 to 7:30.
And what happens on Wednesdays before that, Irene?
Tutoring happens with David. So tutoring 4:30 to 5:45, but that is for 14 to 24-year-olds only.
Because, and again, we hate using that word, but we have certain fundings for certain projects. Mm-hmm. So one day maybe we'll have all the funding for one group, but right now we have funding from Bagley, so it's a Bagley sponsored event. So that's why it's the ages 14 to 24.
Yes.
Cool beans. So Selena, you were just at a Third Eye event. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so Life Fundamentals is working very hard to bring back the Third Eye with the Third Eye team as well, and instill the fundamentals so that it can continue being everlasting and not fall, because it's been such a great organization in the community. So we had the Winter Jam just last Saturday. It went so good. We had 2 bouncy houses, a face painter, Doodles, little shout out to Doodles. Doodles is there.
What's Doodles?
Doodles.
What's Doodles?
Sorry. So Doodles is more younger kids. I believe it's 5 to 11, and it's creative arts with the kids, just letting them create, because the arts program has been defunded, and so Doodles comes back and makes sure that they have that outlet to be able to share, and it falls perfectly on the spectrum for Third Eye. So Third Eye Unlimited is youth empowerment, and they've had the hip hop club, which we're hoping to get back. Swift Characters Jr. had helped put on the Third Eye, so we had breakdancing, 3-on-3 basketball with Manny DeBrito from, was Manny there? I'm trying to think. I know he was supposed to come for A's before J's. And it was just a fun time for us all just to come together and just have fun and use our time positively and productively.
So one of the things that we're working on behind the scenes is New Bedford, formerly New Bedford Pride, South Coast Pride, will be June 2nd. So I actually hit up Third Eye to have some of their youth maybe entertain and be some of our performers on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're working on that behind the scenes. And so I guess it's a good segment. You want to talk about youth coming on the show?
Yes, I was
I
waiting.
would love for you to talk about that, Eileen.
So we're looking for youth, young adults, to come on and display their talent. Any talent you have that you want to share with us. You do not have to be an LGBTQ youth. Any youth, a young adult, is welcome to come on. So send me an email, send Tracy an email.
What's your email?
My email is Eileen, EILEEN, at sclgbtqnetwork.org. So send us an email and let us know. If you can't come into the studio, we can go out, we can videotape you, or on our phone. Not videotape, that sounded old, didn't it? Videotape?
It's something.
Something.
Videotape, it works.
Yeah. So we can record you and have it on the show. We want to highlight the talent that we have and what the young adults, what the kids are doing in the community. So send me an email.
Yeah, because right now we have a small studio here at the Bedford Guide, but hopefully in a few weeks we'll be going into a big studio, so we'll be able to broadcast and kind of
10
do a lot
times
more
as
there.
big.
No,
10 times as
5
big.
times,
I know.
5
Maybe
times.
5, 6, 7 times. A lot bigger than this.
One more thing.
Go ahead, honey.
So soon you will see Tracy and I out on the street
Whoop, whoop.
asking questions.
Man on the street interview
Yeah. So if you see us,
with our peer leaders.
Yep.
Yeah.
With our peer leaders, we're going to ask you some questions. We're going to talk about some difficult topics, some fun topics. So look for us. We'll look for you. And
So what are we doing on March 17th?
March 17th. Let's see. We are having a health fair on March 17th, right?
Yep.
That's
No,
what we're doing.
we're seeing the movie first. Or the movie after. That's
We're
what I
seeing the
meant.
movie after.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, yeah.
So-
So on March 17th, I don't know if we should say that too much about that, but we're going to the movies. We're going to see Love, Simon. With,
So excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited too.
Do you guys want to come with us for free? We'd
Is
love
that
you-
a question?
Yes.
Okay,
You
so
got it.
meet us at AMC Theaters
Definitely.
on
Just them, not the audience.
March 17th, and we'll send you the time because we're not sure yet what time we're going to be playing.
Because what we're going to do is, after the movie's over, we're going to interview people coming out and just say, hi, this is Tracy and Eileen, we're co-hosts or co-producers. We produce this as well, guys, from the LGBTQ Voice. What do you think about the movie and how it's going to impact you? And just we'll have a couple of questions to ask, and we'll have some of our peer leaders there as well, because with the 4 of us or 8 of us can grab different people on our March 20th show of coming out stories, we'll be able to broadcast some of that.
Right, and we want to talk about, how real was the story? Could youth
Relatable.
could youth relate to it? Could the more mature people relate to it? So we'll be talking about that on the 20th.
Yeah, and again, if we have some of our MB Adley youth, but if you guys have any youth at ages 14 to 24 that want to come, please contact us at our email addresses. And I think Josh has probably put them up by now, but it's Tracy, Traci, at sclgbtqnetwork.org, or Eileen with the same initials. So what events do you guys have coming up? Anything coming on your plate?
Right, so for Life Fundamentals right now, it's going to the parks. Now that the weather's getting warmer, we'll be going to the parks with water and fruit and hoping to team up with Parks and Rec for the summer lunches that are happening. And we have the Third Eye Open happening August 18th, so make sure you're there.
And where is that, or what's going on there?
I believe it's going to be the same area that we did it last year, right in downtown, and it's way larger than the Winter Jam. We'll be having art mural, 3-on-3 basketball, the dance, a whole kids expo right outside. I'm not sure if we'll be having music, video, like a movie being played, few things going on. It's real community interactive, and we're also working on a program called Super Flat, which is an art mural restoration project. And Super Flat is a term coined by Takuri Murakami. I said that low because I don't want to butcher his name. And it's basically saying that all arts are the same, super flat. Like if you're a graffiti artist or you're Picasso, you're an artist and your artwork deserves to be throughout the city, kind of imitating what like Wynwood in Miami right here in New Bedford, to get more people to want to take photos here and be a part of the community and show where we come from.
Cool. Tyler?
For Project Yes right now, we don't have any large events like that coming up. Thanks for stealing the thunder.
Well, this isn't even barely us. We're just helping. We're just helping.
Next time you go first.
All right.
We're just helping. You guys can help.
Currently, every Monday night at our New Bedford office at 1177 Acushnet Avenue, we offer a drop-in center. So you guys can come in, do your homework. All of us are in college, so we can help you with homework from all ages of the spectrum, middle school, except for like the new Common Core math. I don't understand that. That's
God help me. So one of our youth asked me a question about that math, and I'm going, oh my God. So I put it on Facebook and put the question down. Remy Grabber, thank you very much for this. He actually did a tutorial and put it back on Facebook how to do the math. So my our youth was able to see it and go along with
makes
this homework.
no sense anymore.
Sorry, I feel as though they're just kind of making us stick in the problem so much longer instead of going towards a solution and moving on to the next.
That's the adults' version of life.
Yeah,
that's why our youth need to empower more.
Yeah,
that's why we're here. So yeah, we help with homework. We do the groups. We're developing so many more educational groups. We've just recently done physical and emotional wellness, how to build a resume, employability, how to be an adult financially, how to do your taxes, set up bank accounts, things like that. And then Thursday, we do the same thing in our Fall River office on 314 South Main Street. It's the same thing, homework, educational, things like that.
Maybe at one point you guys can talk with Eileen. Eileen does a 10-week course.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's something that we're going to be working on at MB Agley as well. So some of the kids from the river can't come, Fall River, can't make it down, whatnot. Maybe Eileen will be able to pass that information on to you guys as well.
Absolutely. And once the weather breaks, I know at the end of the summer we did a big tie-dye event. Yep. So we had, everybody got like a white Project Yes t-shirt, we tie-dyed, we played giant Jenga, we had music, board games. It was just a good night. We had pizza. And now we're hoping to do a lot more of that coming this summer. We're going to get a head start on everything and make sure we have things going consistently.
Cool. Let me know. I can bring it straight to the streets and
absolutely
bring as many people as we can that way.
You know, one of the things that we do on the show, guys, is these guys never met each other, and you swear that they've been friends for 15 years now. We try to empower youth together, but, you know, bring information to our community. Do you guys know any other youth organizations besides your Third Eye, you guys, MB Agley?
The Anchor House, I've heard great things about. It's more mental health focused, but they are they're behind the kids who want to start businesses, and they're willing to help them out very much. And I know that they have an office here in New Bedford.
One of the other organizations I know well enough to speak about is the Bold Coalition that I mentioned before. They're going into schools doing events, and everything is drug prevention and harm reduction. They stand for, like, again, building our lives drug-free, and they're very, very active in the Fall River community.
Cool. Do you have more questions?
I do. Did we talk about what you do to get youth involved? What kind of outreach do you do? How do you get kids to attend?
Project Yes is very active almost everywhere. I guess you could say we're like a jack of all trades, master of none. We're doing on the street outreach, maybe not so much now because, you know, we're 10 inches underwater and it's snowing all the time. But we're, you know, going to parks in Fall River and New Bedford. We're very active on social media, very active in the school systems. We've reached out to New Bedford, Fall River, Taunton, Freetown, Fairhaven. Yeah. We're all over the place. We're connecting with sororities and fraternities at UMass Dartmouth because, you know, they're kind of always all together. I know, is that a stereotype? It might be, but it works in our favor because
they're together.
Exactly. We're reaching a mass of students all at once.
Can you tell us your email again?
My personal email is, well, not my personal,
well,
but
whichever one, how they can get a hold of you.
If you want to get a hold of me, it's tponte@sevenhills.org, or you can email me at tpprojectyes
we joked last time about that.
@gmail.com. I swear you're a child.
I am. I'm a big kid and a half.
Your turn.
What was the question?
How do we get a hold of you?
Oh,
just to make sure, because last time we like to do it a couple times.
Yeah, so you can get Life Fundamentals. It's nblifefundamentals@gmail.com or directly on Facebook at Life Fundamentals.
And I was asking, how do you get kids involved? How do you do outreach? Let kids know that you're around.
So a lot of our stuff is very organic and grassroots pop-up, but we go to the parks with our basket, which has water, fruit, chalk, jump ropes, the library donated books, and we're most likely going to get a whole nother batch that we give out to the kids. And we just go directly to the programs that are happening, like hopefully maybe we'll jump in over at Project Yes.
Hey.
And we just go right to the kids and we just play with them and hang out with them and give them the cards that have the 5 fundamentals and continue to push the 5 fundamentals for ourselves and the community. We have our Missions Plus Visions where the team of us that are involved at different times meet and just talk about different stuff that we want to do, and we get it done. We figure out a way.
I was just going to say, I think it's cool because sometimes you get that one kid that doesn't have a friend and they're kind of like walking around and don't know what to do, and they see you. And they're like, oh, let me go check that out. And now they have a friend or somebody to kind of hang out with. Like I said, I think you guys are going to be friends for quite a long time. I can see that relationship, you know.
We can hope.
What parks are you usually at? Are there certain ones you go to? Do you have a schedule? What does that look like?
Great question, and that's really what I'm working on. We've been at the United Front Park, Ashley Park, Brooklawn Park. We haven't gone to Riverside, but we're thinking of doing a schedule for Riverside, United Front Park, and Ashley Park, and having it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a couple hours each day. We're not exactly sure. It's probably going to be like 3 to 5 on Friday and then 1 to 3 Saturday, Sunday.
All right. If you, when you come up with your schedule, let us know. We'll make sure it gets up.
Yeah, absolutely. And contact us if you want to be a part of the group. Anything that you have, any ideas, we're here to back you up all the way.
So one of the last questions I have is, what does your personal 5-year plan look like? What do you guys see yourself doing?
So the organization's 11 to 25, and I'm 22 at the moment, so I only have 3 more years to get what I wanted done. And in the next 3 years, I'm hoping to be in the the gateway cities throughout Massachusetts. We have an event happening in Providence that's for cancer awareness in October, and making our way to New York. I have a sister who's a clown out there, so we really want to go nationwide in the next 5 years and possibly worldwide in 10 with me sitting back on the board.
Great. Tyler?
For Project Yes, the big goal is we want to be a household name. We want all of these kids to go back and say, you know, when mom and dad ask, you know, what did you do at school today, or what did you do today with your friends? You know, Project Yes, we did this event, we did this, and we really want to just be a common name. We want our outreach to kind of reach that level where, you know, we don't have to introduce ourselves anymore. And then personally for me, I'm halfway through my undergrad in marketing. So my goal is to pretty much end up being a marketing manager, and I really want to take, you know, the nation by storm and change the way marketing is going, because I'm sick of looking out, my window on the highway and seeing a woman's body stretched across a billboard, and objectifying all of these things that you don't need to sell products.
So one of the things our show on tonight is LGBTQ Youth Empowering. So if you guys tell us about yourself, your sexuality, what do you identify as? Excuse me.
I'll go first. So I identify as a cisgendered male, and I identify as gay. I have identified as gay for a few years now, since about 2014. Yeah, 2014. I was 16.
And I'm a female. I do not identify as gay, lesbian, anything, as I have dated men. I've dated lesbian women, straight women. I actually went on a date last month to Dave and Buster's with a gay man, and it's pro-love,
Love is love.
Yeah, I appreciate the LGBTQ community because they're knocking down social constructs left and right, and it's just really empowering to anyone. And it doesn't matter if you're guy into guy. If you want to wear a dress, wear a dress. If you want, doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Ellie, did you have anything else for our guests?
I don't. I just want to thank you for sharing, because not only are you sharing the work you're doing, you're sharing a little bit about who you are as people, and that sometimes is a little bit unnerving. So thank you.
Absolutely.
One of the things I love that you guys are young, even though Eileen and I are a little bit older, are adults advisors for NBAGLE. I know more than a year,
older?
Right? We're youth-driven, peer-led with adult support. So our peer leaders are young adults or youth themselves. So we talk about, I don't know what's going on, I'm a white woman. Well, yes, I'm gay. So we each bring something different to our groups, or to our kids. But we're peer-led, and those peers are like you guys have, being in that age gap. So I was there at one point, but it's nice for them to hear from somebody that's at that point now. So they can kind of grow, going, well, if they're okay and you're okay, and maybe I'll be okay.
One great thing I find about being a group that's peer-led is we're not picking the topics that they're learning about. They're going out and saying, hey, this is what I think my experiences have been, and I think that my peers need to learn about, or other youth need to learn about. It's a lot different when you're 14 to 24 hearing things from your peers than it is from an adult talking to you, talking at you, because that's how young adults and youth feel. Stop talking at me. You don't know everything. You don't know nothing. You don't know what it's like to be a teen today or a young adult today. So that's one of the great things about NBAGLE.
Do we have any concerns, topics? Anybody comment?
I have a few things.
Let's hit it.
Let's see. So,
throw it at me.
Oh boy. Okay, so hi Zoe, if you're still there. So Zoe says that
Zoe's in Florida.
Ah, lucky. Zoe says, I agree with Tracy, but I'm not sure on what point. But hi.
That helps. Thanks, Zoe.
Alex says, hi everyone. Hi Alex.
Hi, Alex.
What's up?
Alex will be co-hosting with me next week.
Yes. So Alex says, I think it's the right of the person who identifies as being trans and should be able to compete with the gender identity they identify with.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to say your name wrong. I think it's Kaya Madeira. Do you know who that is? No? Okay. Well, hi. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Remember, hormone therapy and SRS change your body composition. Born male and transition to female, your strength weakens to a cisgendered female level.
But at what point, what time?
Right.
How long does it take?
Where's that blur?
Yeah, where's that border?
And I think that's my challenge with really having a position on this, because I really don't have a position. I don't feel like I have enough medical background to make that decision about biology and who says at this level you're definitely a female and should be, wrestle females or fight females, or you're definitely a male and you should wrestle or fight males. So again, that's why I don't have a position on this. So
yeah, and I also feel like there have been some men that are weaker than women and some women that are
Stronger than men.
weaker than men too on either side, and maybe not even making it like a weight class and a gender, maybe focusing more on their strength ability, like what they can bench press, what they can lift, because with that, then maybe it'd be less about the gender and more about the stamina that each person has.
Their skill level.
Yeah.
Let's see who else I have. Hey, Selena from Callie or Kaylee.
Oh, it's Kaylee. That's my partner in Life Fundamentals, Kaylee Brown. Shout out to you. Sorry.
Let's see. Todd says thank you for all your work.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Todd, for looking out.
I'm gonna say this name wrong.
I can't see it, so good luck.
Lashia Soto. I know who you are. Huh? No, right here.
Oh yeah, Lashia.
Lashia, hi. Let's see. Donna. Thank you, Tracy, for being a great role model. That's Donna DeMello.
Hey, Dee.
And let's see. Donnelly Donley. Great job. Thank you for looking out for one another. Okay. Sharon. Their choice, their life, whatever makes them happy. We all need to be happy and accept the person for what they are, human beings.
Absolutely.
Hashtag we matter.
Yeah. Love one another. So, that's what we have.
Very positive.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick time check. It's 7:50. We did have some other topics we wanted to
Wow.
talk about tonight, but we'll have to maybe postpone that.
We will.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to archive it. We're starting out like a final
I just want to
folder.
say quickly, check out the Patch Alliance. It's a little bit controversial.
No, we can talk about that.
It's a, okay.
So we'll skip that. Everything on mine, skip. We'll go right to Eileen because she's that important.
Well, because
Forget
there's a
the
vote
rest of it.
tomorrow on it, and it's a little bit controversial. Again, I don't know where I stand on this.
Yes.
Flip the desk. It's over it.
The vote's tomorrow. That's why we're skipping to the forefront.
Yeah, so Patch Alliance. So, do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay, so we
Do
got
you?
this from.
No clue.
Do you?
Do you? If anyone knows about it, please jump in, post something. So basically, we
Now
have
she has to find her notes.
right here. Yeah, because
Well, you just
I
threw
thought we were
everything
gonna have to skip it.
Not at all.
At least I'm not throwing things. So, one piece of it, it's about confidential health care and restricting information shared. So, one specific part is about kids, I'll say kids, under 18, individuals who want to get HIV testing or treatment or
Hormones, anything.
hormones,
Testosterone.
yeah, so they want to make it so that parents don't have the right to that information.
Who's
It's
they?
protected. This is something that's going to the, let's see, it's a bill, an
Okay.
act to protect access to confidential health care passed the Senate in 2016. It's going to the House tomorrow. There's a vote. So, again, I don't know where I stand on this. I see both sides. I see
So should kids have the right not to let their parents know that they're transitioning, or
of
anything?
just getting hormone treatment,
Yeah.
I mean, or getting HIV testing. So again, as a mom,
does that include pregnancy tests?
I think they already have the right to that.
Do they?
Yes.
I think they do.
All
I
right.
think they
So it's
absolutely
just
do.
adding on to that.
Planned Parenthood, you don't
Yeah.
have to have a parent to get.
Yeah.
But
So some people say that you're under 18, so you're under the parents' rule, so the parents should know before, and other people say, you know what, my parents, I don't want to tell my parents.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we struggle with at NB Agley is once our kids come out, they get kicked out of their home. Because our target population is ages 14 to 24, men having sex with other men and transgender women. So we add that to the loop.
Right, so I just want to emphasize this is one piece of what's being proposed, but you know, if I was a mom and my kid was getting treatment and I didn't know, how would I feel about that if something happened and I wasn't aware of the medical treatment they were getting? On the other side, I see these youth and young adults who want treatment and are afraid for their safety, afraid for socially, whatever their fears are, to disclose that information. So again, how do we protect kids as parents, and how do we protect those kids who can't share with their parents? So again, this is another
It's a double-edged
controversial.
sword.
Yeah, I don't know where I fall
You know,
on
as
this.
a parent, I'm taking my kid on a trip, and all of a sudden he needs surgery, and I, well, what medication is he on? Well, he's not, or she, not on
Right,
any. And all of a sudden you don't realize that they're taking tea, they're taking all these things that you don't know about. So
Exactly.
parental, that's how I look at it. But I also look at it, well, is the kid going to get kicked out of their home, depending on who their parent or their guardian, depending on what's going on.
And are we keeping kids from getting the treatment that they need to be and feel that they can be who they are based on those fears? So again, it's definitely, it's difficult.
So do your research, you know, we're sorry, we just found this news article and I apologize. And we just kind of pulled it out. We would have really liked to have done this a couple weeks ago to give people some more time to process it.
Right.
I think the concern is definitely there on either side.
Right, absolutely.
But having youth empowerment organizations like us that they can speak to, it helps. And dropping the social constructs that are happening. You can definitely, step by step, it's a process. I think these strong changes, such as the one that's being brought up to the State House, is very controversial, but I think with time we can definitely make the progress needed so that both sides can be safe and make the choices.
Right.
And a quick point, maybe like a shameless self-promotion for Project Yes.
Shout out.
Anybody that's under the age of 18 must have a parent sign a consent form for their child to participate in the program. And listed in the program is, you know, you're signing away your child's ability to receive confidential viral hepatitis and HIV testing. So as a client of Project Yes, if your parent, you know, thoroughly reads the consent form, which a lot of people don't read anything, you're signing your life away, your left leg. People don't read anything anymore. But just being a part of Project Yes means your HIV information is completely confidential. So if anybody is looking for a place to receive confidential STD, HIV, and viral hepatitis testing, you can reach me again at tponte@sevenhills.org.
So I just want to be clear. So if a parent signs that release form,
correct,
and the individual under 18 gets tested,
yes,
you cannot disclose that information to parents because
absolutely
they already
not.
signed the consent.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Cool beans. So we got some community news coming up, guys. We're quite excited. We actually had Ginger Ale on our show when we did drag 2 weeks ago, and the Imperial Court of Rhode Island is actually doing
soda.
What, honey?
I thought you meant the soda.
Oh no! Well, that's how she got her name because she always drank ginger ale.
Ale. I
So
like
that's how
it.
she ended up with her drag name.
Drag name puns are my favorite.
Yep. So at hey guys, I'm sorry we got running out of time.
I'm sorry.
So at La Place, our local gay bar, 20 Kenyon Street, at the Imperial Court of Rhode Island, we'll be doing a fundraiser, and the money and proceeds will be going to the South Coast LGBTQ Network, and that's who hosts this show. And it will be 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock this Saturday night. It's called Madonna-rama, depending on how you want to say it. And Eileen and I will be there as other members of the network, and we will be doing our community needs assessment. We'll be there, and we'll be having a little table with some stuff about NB what's going on at our Perfect Place Community Center.
Come visit me, come talk to me. I'll tell you everything that's going on in the community.
And it is 21 plus.
21 plus, it's only $5.
Only $5.
Yeah.
What's going on in the 17th?
$5.
$5.
I have a lot of comments about $5 that I can't say. Okay.
Yeah. You talking about the foot long again?
No, I wasn't. All right, so March 17th, I'm going to change gears before I get in trouble. Community health fair that I was trying to talk about earlier, 715 Purchase Street, 10 to 2. There will be demonstrations, vendors, testing, health screenings, and community needs assessment. You can fill it out online or paper form there that day. I'll be there again. You can see me.
There's going to be like a private area, so it's not like it's all open and people are saying what testing you might be getting done. Plenty of vendors, opportunities to pull us aside and talk to us about the voice. Maybe what you might want to see in our future. We'll be representing the network as well as we'll have a booth for NB so we'll be like running back in here and going over here depending on what people's needs are. Plus we actually have 3 roles and the TV show that we're doing. I call it a TV show because I can't. I'm cool like that. But we're excited about the community needs assessment.
Yes.
Because I think I know what a 53-year-old gay woman wants. You may know what a almost 20-year-old gay male wants. We don't know. So the community needs assessment is 40 questions right now. And once they're answered, we'll be able to get a better idea of what the needs are from sexuality, gender identity, age groups, and what the whole needs are for our community. So we're very looking forward to doing that.
I just want to add one thing. So I want to reach out and say, have your straight friends watch the show. We want to bridge the gap. We want to share with all of the community what we're doing and what's going on. Invite all of the community to attend the health fair and the other events we have. It's not LGBTQ only.
Right.
It's LGBTQ inclusive.
Right.
Everyone come, attend our events, reach out to us, see what we're all about, see what we're doing. We're people, just people. So I think it's important to say that.
And it's our first annual. We want to do it every year. Hopefully we'll have like 22-ish vendors this year, and we'll go to a bigger hall and do much more for the community. But we want to do the community needs assessment every year to see if we've reached our goals, to see what changes we were able to make, whether it was transportation, whether it was summer camps, whether it was more events for our seniors or elders in our community. But Josh is our camera guy behind the scenes. He may not even know this yet. We're going on remote. We're going out of the studio.
Yes, we are.
We're actually going to be going live from the place, 20 Kenyon Street, on March 27th. We are doing a show on LGBTQ history, and we thought, what better place to do it than our local gay bar that has been here for 35 years. So that Tuesday night from 7 to 8, we will be at La Place with Andy Pollack, and he'll be co-hosting with probably myself or Eileen, maybe the three of us, who knows. So it'll be interactive. Again, it's 21 plus.
I can't go. I feel excluded.
Yeah. Well, that's what, it's 21 plus in here too. Nobody else can get in. Actually, it's whatever we say can get in here. But in general, not everybody can come into the studio. But we're looking forward to going out and, going to the gay bar. And again, straight people come all the time, trust me. But it'd just be nice to kind of let people see what the bar is and what it's been about for all these years. And I'm quite excited to be going there. So what do we have next week, Eileen?
Next week, we are going to talk about gender identity and sexual orientation. We're going to talk a little bit about some definitions. What's gender identity? What's sexual orientation? They're not the same thing. And just, again, have your straight friends tune in so we can talk a little bit about that. Also, the new, I'll say new, vocabulary because it's new to me, that the younger generation is using around gender identity and sexual orientation. We're not going to get too much into it, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. So
because people joke about the LGBTQ A B C D E F G, so we're going to be talking about
it's all those letters,
right? Just some of the pronouns. We all hear gay, we all hear bisexual, we all hear Q for queer or questioning. We'll be going a little bit more like a Welcoming Schools Young Youth Edition version. If you ever want the big version, then come to the bar on the 27th. I'll give you that one.
Or you can ask me Saturday. Come Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
See us Saturday. I'll have all night to talk to you about definitions, pronouns.
Yeah, because there's a lot behind the scenes that we just don't have time for. And no offense, I get confused sometimes from the more words and pronouns that I hear every day. So to kind of throw it at the straight public is not probably good.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of like throwing the spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah. So we'll be going over that because we've heard over and over again, I didn't understand what you said, or what does cis mean, or what does that mean. So we'll kind of be going over that, maybe the shorter version of the generic ones that we hear more in and out each day. So again, welcome and thank you for coming to episode 10 and episode 11 next week. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.